Greetings, Jedi traders. David here of TradingFibs.com to bring you the daily trend for end of the week, week 37, day number 5, September 16th, 2016. As always, please seek financial advisement when trading with your money, as these videos are for educational purposes only to support your knowledge in the market. See what's going through my head on any given day. Always make sure you have a solid trading plan and always manage your stop when placing a trade. All right, Quad Witch Friday. To be expected, chop volatility, not really being able to get any solid trends today, so it was all about scalp from the go, and that's all we kept it all throughout the day. Only looking at the NQ, but what a week. You don't get a week like this with the kind of ticks that we got without some volume, and that's exactly what we had in this market. Finally, some volume returning after some months off. I think the last time we saw this kind of price action was back in June or May. So, wrapping up the week, here's our numbers. Really nice, more than average setups, but with the kind of runs that we had there on the NQ, pretty amazing. And finally, at some point, decided to focus on one of the indices, and that was the NQ. A little bit of econ data out today. Don't forget about checking Ken Polcari's newsletter in the morning. You can click here to read and subscribe as well. But there's our numbers for today. One market, 11 setups on the NQ, and a couple of flat trades there, but just two contracts going for the scalp entry, 11, 12 tick trades, and that was all we were looking for. Nice move all around. Last one all the way up to, I think it was the daily opener, or we'll take a look there. Anyway, it was all about Quad Witch scalp session, and there it was, just going for 12 ticks at a time. That's it, 12 ticks in and out, regardless of whether there was a level or there or not, until the very end. Had a really nice move, scalp setups, a couple flat trades, but there it was. Yep, it was the 25-minute open range, not the daily open. It was the breakout of the daily open up to the end, watching the tick count, watching the AD line. Again, really not going for any long movers, but it was nice that I was able to get off right before some of those key levels. All right, let's jump right into the charts because it was all about the NQ today. But let's take a look at the other indices and other commodities futures, see if there was anything available. There it is. AD line was to the downside, giving us a little bit of a drive down, and then pretty much plateauing that little lift at the end towards the 750. So not much action here in the afternoon session. How did we do on the fib targets? We didn't get any here today. You can see both above and below, pretty much sitting in between. Daily gaps, we were able to close out the crude down here, 43.05. So there it is. Look at those swing bars. Nothing like we've seen for the majority of the summer. You can see the ES, very small price action, finally getting some volume this week across the board. Look at these nights, Monday, Tuesday. That was Friday, sell off Monday, and then a couple of action days, but pretty much encased in that Monday bar. NQ with the Apple rise this week, that was our big move up. And so NQ was all about the NQ this week as far as I was looking at. All right, let's jump into the daily trend. Kind of a new look going on with the charts here these days. Kind of excited about it. Let's go ahead and pull down that. There we go, and open up. There it is. All right, I have a little bit of an overlay now on the charts, trying to minimize how many charts looking at by putting on the moving averages. So let's get right to it. What is trend, and where was the trend today? Well, here was crude. You got the 51.44 represented by a cloud here now. Two moving averages, an overlay of a 1-minute chart. Again, that to me is a market internal. That is a trend. If I can overlay that on my charts, I could then see it with price action on the range bars. The Heikin Ashi, given a little bit of a tag name, Heikin Oku, Haiku, who knows? I don't have a word that I've created, but who knows what, it doesn't matter. It's all about the trend. So Haikinoku it is for now. But anyway, solid sell signal down here in the crude. That was the overnight session. A couple of re-entries down here as the market opened up. Again, looking for price action above the T350 or below the T350. I apologize. There's another arrow for you, so let's grab that. And a little bit of a piece. Again, you want the entry below the T350, not too far away from the crossover, but again, crude with a nice move downside. GC with a couple nice moves. There it is, GC opening up under the 51.44. all the way down to the 25-minute open range, bounces back off the 51.44. I gotta appreciate it. And this is not Ichimoku. Again, this is just a 51.44. Downside, sell signal, indecision bars, you got yourself a nice trend. So overall trend pretty flat for the day, but again, a couple of opportunities are on the go. A little bit of patience. You're not going for 1-2 ticks. You're looking for a nice trend. Again, you had another couple small setups. Might have been, if the attitude was scalped, then you came off a little bit quicker. If not, you might have endured a little bit of loss there, but you were able to make that up maybe on one of these other trends. All right, not much movement on the bonds there. Again, YM, taking a look, pretty much avoided the YM, just stuck to the NQ today, but a nice sell signal downside. Here we go, back downside. T350, you might have jumped in on the upside. Again, not all charts in sync, but you are above the T350, which is the dotted white red line, and you are above the cloud, so you jump in. You might have ran it up to the 25-minute open range high, or hey, you know, you go for 6 ticks, 10 ticks, 2 contracts, 4 contracts, whatever you're trading. Sell signal downside here, no go. You might have jumped on this, and it might have not worked out for you. You got a sell signal downside, but you know, when you got a setup here and you got a 25-minute open range right here, you kind of wait. You wait until you have a little bit of a breakout. So again, while this one looked good, you might have also waited here. This being the more solid entry, and then the breakout down here of the 25-minute open range low, the better of the setups. Nice pop up here, pull back, and bang, right upside. So pretty much overall flat trend today, but a couple of pocket scalps in NQ. A lot of scalps here. Again, totally 11 today, but again, test yourself as a trader. Not a bad day to do that, but all price action. Once it got inside the cloud here, you kind of avoided it. A little pop action, give you 2 setups to the downside, a little setup over here, and then throughout the remainder of the afternoon session, even towards the close, a nice move. Take a look at the ES with just about as many setups. Solid setup downside here underneath the range. Pop up above the 51.44 cloud there. There you go. Pop down back underneath the 25-minute open range. Pull back here to the T350. You're above the cloud. You got a nice scalp entry. Pulls back. And that's how you trade an inside chop session. Or else you walk away and say, hey, you know what? I'm not interested in markets like today. All right, taking a look at the 6E, a couple of the charts here. Don't have the 51.44 set up on these yet, but again, I just want to show you overall trend. You had the inside, the gap move, sell signal downside, 5 charts, 6E, very nice moving today. One entry after another. As you got down here, a couple small pullbacks, a little draining here towards the end, but not much price action in the afternoon. But again, pre-US session overnight, very nice moves on the 6E. And the 6J, again, very nice yen downside, sell signal downside. Again, when you have 5 charts in the red, you can always go on the solid Heikin Ashi bar. So downtrend momentum today on the yen, as we've been seeing on the big charts. Sell signal here. As we roll into next week, don't forget yen and the Fed will be coming out with their numbers. All right, anything else? Yep, beans, nice mover today. Buy signal above the Globex high, pull back. And there was your better setups. Again, you could have jumped on the solid body tail up here instead of waiting for the crossover. You got 5 charts in the green. Keep it simple there, Jedi traders. Once I overlay that 51.44, you'll see some magic happen here. Natty Gas, a couple of nice moves to the upside. Nothing to report on platinum today. All right, let's jump into the daily big pick. Actually, let's get over to the VPOC a little bit. Again, this week has been a lot of inside session of one candle of another. So here we sit. Nice healthy profile today. Price action above and below each of the extremes here. 70% of the trading. We've continued to close out the gaps, but we look for the VPOCs. VPOC is the 600-day mean, which all remain below at this point, 44.50. But nice, good profile. Not much need repair from today's session, but again, weak profile on yesterday's price action as we left an open top up there. Again, if you're interested more in value profile, surely can teach yourself more through Dalton, Stoudemire, or the Shadow Trader. All right, taking a look at the daily big pick as we roll into next week. Again, no future candle here. I can't tell you where we're going. I can tell you where current momentum is. You have to be ready every day to be ready in both directions. But here we go. Taking a look at the three indices as we continue on the NQ with a little help of Apple here in the last couple of days, holding above the 50-period moving average. Volume pretty good today. Volume pretty good this week overall. The NQ leading the way here as we got T3 moving averages both upside. 50 about to cross the 144 and holding above T350. So I have to go with the momentum just about to cross over. But again, by a hair, this thing can come down. So we'll wait to confirm that on Monday. But again, nice move on NQ, but kind of a lot of sideways action. So a little concerning that either NQ is helping the ES and the YM, or ES and YM are going to pull the NQ down. So tough call here as we roll into next week. Again, it's about that Fed Reserve meeting next week, so just wait and see. Once that comes out, the NQ might lead the way. So that's what we'll look. We'll see the crossover. If the markets head up next week, watch for the ES and the YM to at least chop up to that, move up to that 144 and break above the T350. Otherwise, any bad news, ES and YM continue to come down, and watch the NQ to reverse and look for the resistance off the 144 and 50 and the T350 as we head into next week. Taking a look at the daily big pick on the crude. Crude continues to move downside, so I got to go with the momentum, watching for the 200-period moving average. No immediate daily gaps. I think we have one down at 37.90, so be aware of that. As we move down on the crude, and there it is, 200-period moving average at 42.38. As we've been talking about, gold now back inside the range after a little bit of resistance here at the 50 and the 5200 gap on a daily. But gold been downside, a little bit of resistance here a couple days ago off the 4-hour chart. So momentum on the gold to the downside, as well as the bonds holding in between 50 and 200. So momentum, got to go with the bonds, and the gold still to the downside. And last, the EMD Midcap 400 following the ES there, holding downside momentum primarily in the gap here, but we've got to go with the momentum still a downside. We'll want to see the 10 EMA here turn down for it to be a continued downtrend, unless we get the pullback upside with any news next week. Look for the resistance on the key moving averages here. 60 euro, again, we saw the euro downside today, playing out the bigger picture as price action finally, after about a week, almost a week and a half here, inside price action has now broken under. So the momentum, even though still to the upside on the 50-144, momentum shifting here on the euro as we continue down. But we do have support here at the 200. So with very little volume here, you're going to have to go with still to the uptrend, maybe a pullback at some point, but surely leading downside on the 4-hour today. And to wrap it up, and again, today being quad witching, many of those contracts coming off, so we'll see where we go next week with that. I don't want to make obviously the momentum. I have to still go on the euro to the upside as the 50 is above the 144. A little concerning here that this broke down, but again, 200-period moving average looks like good support. We'll see what happens on Monday. Taking a look at the 6J and finishing up here with the yen as price action finally broke through, as we've been seeing the yen still primarily in a downside movement. Today, again, we saw in the intraday it was downside. Price action did pull up yesterday, but pulling back here to the T350, the 50 EMA on a 4-hour chart. So right now, still a little bit of indecision, as overall we're hugging the 50-period moving average. Again, everyday indecision, intraday, you're looking for and be ready for both directions. As far as long-term is concerned, the momentum has been for a while to the downside ever since about the end of August, and we're just in indecision, and you can tell why, because as we lead into next week, Bank of Japan with their rate numbers. So we'll hold off till next week to figure out what's happening there. Obviously, the momentum definitely shifting to the downside there and holding. All right, as we roll into next week, again, like I said, it's Bank of Japan, it's FOMC for us. Expect maybe a choppy, quiet Monday unless somebody starts getting on the bandwagon. There we are. 3 charts in their four events, including the press conference. So, you got to be ready for that FOMC announcement, and then together with the crude that day, crude waiting on those numbers, then comes the press conference afterwards, and then the market will move. So it'll be an exciting day there on Wednesday for sure. Finish out the week, jobless claims, and finishing out with PMI, and I'm sure we're going to get into, let's take a look ahead. Federal Reserve speakers start making their circuit, GDP the week after, and then you want to make sure you check out your Econoday and go to the global announcements. I believe the Bank of Japan there, and you'll check out the calendar here. Look for BOJ, and I was thinking, I'm sure, I thought it was on Monday, if I'm not sure. Anyway, there's retail sales. I thought it was on the 27th. I might be mistaken. I don't see it right there. It's not jumping out at me. This might be it. That's the minutes. And yeah, there it is, the monetary. So it will be on Monday, but I don't see where the media announcement is. Maybe it's on Sunday. That's possible. All right. Anyway, that concludes today's daily trend and wrap. Make sure you check out my daily recap, which I'll post here in a little bit. Week 37 recap, and we'll have the stats and a quick link to each daily video. Feel free to stop by at tradingfibs.com or any of my social media outlets to obtain more information. My trading mantra of one simple strategy: any market, any chart, any time frame will keep you disciplined. You can find me every day on Twitter at Trading Fibs, and as always, I leave the crystal ball to the experts. I only trade what's in front of me and on my charts. And as always, leave your bias at the door when trading. Like I said, guys, pretty excited about the new look on the charts. No change in the strategy, just making it clear where the longs are, where the shorts are, and like any day, just trying to get on a move that will run and run and run, and not looking to be in and out. Again, a lot of trades this week, more than average, but a lot of big ticks this week. So a good week overall, and we'll see what happens next week. Everything leading into the Fed minutes. Make sure you guys check out jasonkelly.com for long-term investing, and then check out Ken Polcari daily newsletter. Hey guys, have yourselves a Blue Zone weekend wherever you may be. Good day, good night, and good trading to ya.